Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very easy keto breakfast recipe for you. Today I am going to show you how to make very easy keto cereal. This cereal is great because not only does it not contain all the garbage that the store-bought cereals have, but it has a lot of protein, so it keeps you nice and full and you don't have to worry about crashing halfway through your morning. And if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janet'sdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos, at least every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So, while we do all that, let's get cooking. In a large mixing bowl, sift together 24 grams or around 2 tablespoons of the granulated sweetener of your choice. I'm using granulated monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever granulated sweetener you want. You can also adjust this more or less depending on how sweet you want your cereal. Add 8 grams or around 1 tablespoon of egg white protein powder, 28 grams or around 1/4 cup of coconut flour, and 25 grams or around 1/4 cup of whey protein powder. Sift these all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 32 grams or around 2 tablespoons of peanut butter or any other kind of nut butter that you want. If you want to keep this nut-free, you can use seed butter or you can use cookie butter. I'll leave a link in the description to my cookie butter recipe if you want to use that. Add 1 tablespoon or around 20 grams of the keto syrup of choice. I'm using Chalk Zero's maple syrup. You can use whatever keto syrup you want. Or if you don't want to use any keto syrup, you can just omit the syrup completely and add 2 more tablespoons or 24 more grams of the granulated sweetener of your choice. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You can adjust this more or less depending on how much of a vanilla hint you want in your cereal. You can also change the flavor of extract depending on what type of flavor you're wanting in your cereal. Add 45 grams or around 3 tablespoons of room temperature water. Stir everything together until everything is fully combined and you have a smooth, sticky dough texture that forms. Scrape down the sides of your bowl and push your dough to the center of your bowl and form it into a ball. Then massage the ball in your hands just a couple times. You just want to make sure that you have a good texture of your dough. The dough is going to be sticky, but it shouldn't be so sticky that you can't release your fingers from the dough. So if it seems like it's too sticky and it's gummy on your fingers, then just add very, very small amount of coconut flour until it easily releases from your fingers. You also want to make sure that as you're massaging and pushing the dough together that it is holding its shape well. Once your dough is formed, you can leave it just as it is, or you can fold in some dry spices or some berries or some different flavor extracts or flavor powders or chocolate chips. Anything, any add-in that you want, you can add it in. I'm just wanting mine to be the peanut butter flavor, so I'm not adding any other spices or anything like that. However, I do want half of mine to be chocolate. So if you're wanting half of it to be chocolate like I do, then you would divide your dough into 2 portions. Set 1 portion aside and then put the other portion back into your mixing bowl. And to the portion that's in your mixing bowl, you would add 3 grams or around a half tablespoon of cocoa powder, 4 grams or around 1 teaspoon more of the granulated sweetener of your choice. Again, I'm using the granulated monk fruit sweetener. This is going to help tone down that cocoa powder. And add another half teaspoon of vanilla extract. Again, this is also to help tone down the cocoa powder taste. Cocoa powder can have a very bitter taste, so you want to make sure that you add a little bit of that extra sweetener and a little bit of that extra vanilla to your chocolate dough. Mix it all together until everything is fully combined. Form each dough portion into smooth balls and place them both into a bowl. Then place them into your refrigerator and let them chill for at least 30 minutes or until the dough is firm. While the dough is chilling and firming up, preheat your oven to 350 degrees and line a large baking sheet with parchment paper or a silicone baking mat. Then set that aside until your dough is finished chilling. After 30 minutes and your dough is firmed up a little bit, remove it from the refrigerator. Then scoop each portion out by anywhere from 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon, or whatever desired size you're going to want your cereal pieces. That would be the size that you would be scooping the portions out to. Just scoop them out and put it on your prepared baking sheet. Once the dough is all scooped out, then roll each scoop into tight, smooth balls. Make sure you keep the dough smooth at all times. You don't want any cracks in the balls. If there are any cracks, just use your finger and lightly rub the crack out. Now, if you don't want your cereal to be shaped into balls, you can shape it into any shape you want. If you want to roll it out and it be in thin squares, you can do that. That is entirely up to you. This is just the easiest way for me to do, just scooping it out and rolling it onto the baking sheet. Make sure when you are putting them on the baking sheet that you leave some space in between each one of the cereal pieces. These don't really expand or anything like that, but you want to keep space around each one of the pieces so that the warm air of the oven can circulate around each piece and you have an even cook on each individual piece. Once the cereal pieces are all shaped and placed on your baking sheet, place them in your preheated oven. Bake at 350 degrees for about 8 minutes or until firm and the pieces are beginning to dry a little bit. After about 8 minutes, remove the cereal pieces from the oven. They still will be soft, but they will firm up as they cool. Allow them to cool on the pan for at least 30 minutes or until they are completely cooled and solid. If you want the best texture and the firmest texture, then I would advise letting these dry out overnight, which is what I did. As I've told you guys before, anything with coconut flour in it needs more moisture and so requires a longer drying time. All right, we are done. Our cereal has cooled overnight. Look at that. It is nice and firm. Smells like peanut butter and chocolate. Yummy. Now this is what I consider to be one serving, which is roughly around a cup or about half of the recipe. But of course, you can eat more or less according to your personal taste. Remember, it does have a lot of protein, so it does fill you up quickly. And of course, you can eat these plain or with milk. First off, I'm going to try and see how it tastes just plain so I can really get the flavor and really know for sure if I'm going to like this or not. Let's try one of these. This one's just pure peanut butter with a little bit of vanilla taste. That's really good. That's yummy. I like that. That will make a very nice breakfast. I might make these balls a little bit smaller the next time I make this, but you know, you can make them as big or small as you want. It's still very good. Now, of course, the main test is what is it going to taste like with milk? Because most of us eat milk with our cereal. All right, so I took some out of it just so I can have a little bit in there, just enough to do a little taste test here. So let's get a little bit of milk in there. I don't like mine drowned in milk, but I do like a little bit. As most of you know, coconut milk is my keto milk of choice, but whatever your little heart's desire is. Let's see. Get a little bit of milk on that spoon. Yummy. That would be a nice, good breakfast. But like I said, next time I make it, I'm going to make these balls a little bit smaller. I scooped them out a 1/2 teaspoon this time. I think maybe I'll just go a 1/4 teaspoon next time or something like that. Just a little bit smaller. But they taste really good. Got a lot of good protein in that. You can eat these immediately. If you do have any leftovers, store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 1 week, or in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 3 weeks. After you've stored the cereal for a couple days, if it does get a little bit soft, then all you need to do is pop it back in your oven at 350 degrees for around 3 to 5 minutes or so, or just until it starts firming up. Just make sure if you do this, that after you remove it from the oven, you let it cool completely before you try to put it in any milk or anything like that. Eat and enjoy. And that's a recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.